Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome back. It's Tag Tuesday, so this is another tag. It's the Reader in a Bad Mood tag, and it was created by Robert G. Reader of Books at Robert G. Reader of Books dash R3P. I'll put that username below. And I was tagged at Andrew at You Could Be Reading More. And so this is just a fun tag, just a whole bunch of random prompts, if you have a sense of humor. So, number one, if you are invited to a social function, how do you respond? A, you decline the invitation by phone, patiently explain you are spending time, or spending the evening reading, and then quickly hang up. B, you decline, make up a personal emergency which requires you to leave the town immediately for an unknown period of time. Or C, you don't respond and instead cover all the windows with blackout curtains and ignore the doorbell. I would do A, but not phone call. I would do a text and just say I can't make it. I don't really need to tell them why. They probably assume that if I'm not going somewhere, I'm reading anyway. So I guess I don't have to make excuses. Number two, have you ever tossed a book to the ground in disgust, or thrown a book out of the window, or shouted insults at a book? I've shouted at a book before, lately, actually, a couple of times. But usually it's more surprise and excitement than anger and disgust. I feel like I've gotten better at choosing my books, so I'm not as horribly disappointed as I used to be by them. I've curated my tastes a lot better. Number three, do you think reading is a legitimate excuse to avoid doing things you really should be doing, like the dishes, or going for a walk, or extinguishing a house fire? So for the first two, why can't you be reading while you're doing the dishes and going for a walk? That's what audiobooks are for. So you never actually have to have an excuse to do something else instead. Extinguishing a house fire, technically you could also still be listening to an audiobook while you're doing that. You just want to, I would have to be first chasing my cats around and making sure they're safe as I'm trying to put out the fire. But a book would be playing in the background, definitely. Number four, if someone tells you they wish they had as much time to read as you do you A, find it insulting but ignore it? B, interpret it as a cry for help? Or C, punch them in the nose? Probably B. Interpret it as a cry for help, because if they don't have time for reading, they might not have time for their other hobbies as well. And they really should remedy that and make better life choices. That is completely a joke. I know that things happen and you have to do what life throws at you. This is completely joking. Number five, if there is anything else you'd rather do than read, is it something embarrassing, illegal, profoundly shameful, or all of the above? It used to be embarrassing. I used to think that my hobbies were embarrassing because they're completely out there and a lot of people in my personal life didn't understand them. But I do not care anymore. So if I want to juggle while forging a sword and solving the Rubik's Cube, that's what I'm going to do. Number six, do you think reading makes you charming and witty, or paranoid and socially inept? Do you really care? I do not care as much as I did. Can you be socially inept while witty and charming? I don't know. I do believe I'm socially inept though. Number seven, when you meet somebody new, How soon before you inform them that you like to read books? A, immediately, B, after a few drinks, or C, on a need-to-know basis. It depends on the situation. If I see them with a shirt that is a reference to a book, I saw somebody with a Great Gatsby wallet the other day, and I bring up books, I'll find any reason to talk about books. So I don't need to have a few drinks or anything, but it's usually trying to gauge whether I can talk to them about that or not. But I do enjoy listening to what other people's passions are, so I don't necessarily always have to be talking about my own. So the last one, that was the last one, so the actual number 8 would just be to tag others. I'm going to see if there's anybody that I follow and stuff that doesn't, who hasn't done this one yet, and I will tag a few people. I just don't know off my head since I'm so far behind on tags, and I know this was a while ago. So sorry, Andrew, for taking so long. Please bear with me. I actually have to film another one by you coming up, so I am working on it. I'm just not going through them fast enough, but I'm still here. So as always, thank you and happy reading.